I'm the Godless Engineer. And if you don't know, I live in Alabama, North Alabama to be specific. I got both of my degrees from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And when I heard today that, the Chancellor of the UA system sent out something that basically said that you need religion in order to be a good person or to follow the law, I felt compelled to comment on it. Particularly the video that suggests this. So let's just take a look at this video real quick.
Some time ago, I had a conversation with a Marxist economist from China. He was coming to the end of a Fulbright fellowship here in Boston. And I asked him if he had learned anything that was surprising or unexpected. And without any hesitation, he said, yeah. I had no idea how critical religion is to the functioning of democracy.
Whoa. Religion is a key part to democracy? Did I hear that right? Okay, I know Texas is trying to push this whole idea that Moses spread his butt cheeks out over the Red Sea, farted and shut out democracy as well as the Constitution as he was parting the Red Sea. But that doesn't make it historical fact. For one thing, religion doesn't have any sort of fucking bearing on democracy at all. I mean, if you just look at the fucking news, you could tell that. I mean, Christians make up most of the prison population. Atheists are such a minority in the prison population that it's really fucking absurd to assert that all you need is religion in order to follow the laws. This person in this video is really negating a whole bunch of shit in reality in order to purport that you need religion in order to follow laws or to have a democracy. I mean, if you just think about Christianity, they highly covet the 10 Commandments. Only a couple of those commandments are actual U.S. law. The other ones are not. Like, for instance, here's a big difference in democracy, or, well, our version of democracy, our government, and the fucking Bible. For one thing, in the 10 Commandments, it basically says, don't fuck your neighbor's wife. Well, here in America, in our judicial system, you can fuck the neighbor's wife. It doesn't matter if you're married. It doesn't matter if they're married. You can fuck them. And you know what? If people find out, they could either be fine with it or they could not. You could get a divorce. That's how fucking America works. That's also how freedom works. And nothing in the Bible screams fucking freedom at all. Anything in the Bible just screams servitude and acknowledgement of this higher power and granting that higher power like a pedestal that it can't be criticized on. That's what the Bible does. It does not provide democracy. It does not provide morals. It has some good shit in it. Yeah, I'll agree to that. But guess what? There's bad shit in it too. Like, for instance, did you know that in the Bible it says that adulterers should be killed? Along with people who divorce and then get remarried. But yet, the Christian population loves to just focus on the fucking fact that two men like to fuck each other, two women like to fuck each other, and now they want to get married, and apparently that hurts their sensibilities, and they want to sit there and be like, how do I explain it to my children? You know what? If you can't explain a simple loving relationship to your child, maybe you need to take some parenting classes. That leads me into another fucking difference between our government and the fucking Bible. For one thing, we don't kill fucking homosexuals. We don't sentence them to death, yet the Bible exactly calls for that. And even if you want to try to bullshit me with this whole separating the moral codes from the cultural laws and whatnot, even if you want to do that, the homosexuality shit in the Bible is considered part of the moral law. And you know what that moral law says? That you gotta stone the motherfuckers to death. Because that's how we handle shit in America.
America, fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls. America, fuck yeah!
The reason why democracy works, he said, is not because the government was designed to oversee what everybody does. But rather, democracy works because most people, most of the time, voluntarily choose to obey the law.
Democracy works because people voluntarily choose to obey the law. I'm not too sure about that. I guess he's right. Because you do voluntarily choose to follow the law. You have the choice of not following the law. But then your ass gets thrown in jail. And you could suffer some real serious, crime or charges against you and shit. And your whole life could be uprooted. You are accountable to the society that you live in. You know, the rules that we make. And those rules change. We actually crafted our documents in order for them to change. So, yeah, while it is voluntary for people to follow the laws, that also means that people choose not to follow the laws. And guess what? A good bit of the people that we fucking imprison are goddamn Christians.
And in your past, most Americans attended a church or a synagogue every week, and they were taught there by people who they respected.
Yeah. You know what also happens at synagogues and churches and shit? People get raped. Children, in fact. They get raped. I don't see how you can say that people go to churches and learn how to be moral people when there's immoral activity happening in the church. Not just by the people that go to church and are supposed to learn it, but by the people that are supposed to be fucking teaching people in the congregation. I mean, just at the end of last year, there was a guy here in Alabama that was fucking people in his church. He was fucking women in his church, and he had AIDS. Because people, they go to church to learn how to be morally good people, right?
My friend went on to say that Americans followed these rules because they had come to believe that they weren't just accountable to society, they were accountable to God.
They weren't accountable to society, they are accountable to God. That's just the easiest fucking cop-out that I can think of. Of course you're accountable to society. I mean, look, this whole video is purporting the idea that you need religion in order to be good and moral. That the moral codes that are taught by our religious leaders and whatnot in America are the foundation of us functioning as a society. That's not fucking it. We function as a society because we have to. We have to police our citizens, because there are people that don't want to follow the laws. To sit there and say that our democracy, our government works because people are holding themselves accountable to some kind of deity up there in the sky, that just doesn't fucking work. And the reason is because everybody makes their own fucking God. Everybody makes their own moral codes. I mean, if you just look at the vast differences in the Christian teachings around our country, you've got jackasses in Texas and New Mexico that are saying that you need to stone the fuck out of homosexuals. You also have the decent Christians that don't want to push their faith on people, that they don't want to do anything like that. They want marriage equality. They want all of these same things that atheists are fighting for. And so you have this wide, diverse range of people, like just within the religion itself. So with all of them teaching different moral codes, how can you say that religion is the main driving force in people being moral? I just don't understand that. From a theological aspect of this, how can you really be held to a higher power if it's so easy to just erase whatever you did? Just by praying and giving yourself up to God, you pretty much erase the sin that's on you. So if you want to purport God to be some kind of higher objective moral figure or some kind of higher judge that you have to be held accountable for, it doesn't make sense because you can just wipe the slate clean yourself. I mean, just imagine you going into a courtroom for murder, right? But then you get up there and you're just like, oh, Judge, I am really sorry and I will never do this again. I know I have wrongs, but I believe in your son, Jesus. And that's it. Like, you just it really boils down to the fact that you're asking forgiveness from a God, and because he's so fucking merciful, because the only sin that he can't actually forgive is one that I commit on a daily fucking basis, and that's denying his ass. You saying that people hold themselves accountable to a higher figure doesn't make sense because of the fact that you can erase that yourself by praying and asking for forgiveness.
My Chinese friend heightened a vague but nagging concern I've harbored inside that as religion loses its influence over the lives of Americans, what will happen to our democracy?
I think that democracy will function in the same way as it does now. Because God has no bearing on democracy. You know, if God actually did have a bearing on democracy or how society works in general, then we would see a real effect in people from religion. We would see something unique in religion that teaches us morality. And we just simply don't, because everything that's taught in religion, except for the whole piety to God and serving only him and all the other bullshit in there, if you cherry pick like most Christians do, and you take out the good parts, you can find those basics of morality in other places. And these are just ways that our society has evolved and grown to work. It's evolution. Societies have evolved. Another big argument against this is the fact that the morality that religion teaches actually changes over time. If you take an honest look at our past, you will see a noticeable change in religion as time progresses, as our society evolves into a more moral society. If you just take a look at three big movements that religion has had to change for because our society has changed. That's slavery, women's rights, and the LGBT community's rights. Those are three big areas where religion has noticeably changed with society. So it's not that religion changed society, it's that society changed religion. Because while slavery was going on, we still had people that were preaching from the pulpit how, you know, how black people were supposed to be enslaved, or how the Bible endorses slavery. And you find people that use the Bible in order to keep, you know, people in slavery, in that thought. And that's even continued today, if you really think about it, because that's all that Christianity is. It's mental slavery. And now, if you fast forward a little bit and you go to the women's suffrage movement, it clearly says in the Bible in multiple places the role of the woman in society. And that's pretty much to pop out babies and to serve man. Because, you know, in the Bible, it actually states like the hierarchy as far as, I guess you could say, importance and as well duties. Because it has God, and then Jesus, and then man, and then wife, and then children. So the wife is right above children in importance. I really find that funny, considering that a lot of Christian apologists or whatnot are actually arguing against the idea that religion is harmful to children, when the religion that they're in favor of actually puts children at the very bottom of the fucking list. When they would do a census in the Bible, they wouldn't even have babies that were under, I think it's 5 years old. They wouldn't be considered, like, counted. They wouldn't be considered people. But yet you have the pro-life crowd in the Christian movement that wants to claim that, you know, babies are you know, they're babies from the moment of conception. I found that really funny when their own God doesn't even recognize them as fucking 4-year-old kids. And now finally, the LGBT movement. The gay and homosexual community in the world has been gaining a lot of ground lately. I mean, just recently, Florida is you know, allowing same-sex marriages down there. So, I mean, it's just really a domino effect in our country right now. And that is a major social change that has started not because of religion. It didn't start because the religious wanted it to change, or that, you know, some new revelation about their Bible has told them that you know, oh, gays shouldn't be stoned to death and they should be allowed to be married. That is a change that was brought on by society itself, outside of religion, regardless of religion. In Islam and Christianity, it speaks against homosexuality. I mean, you know, of course, I know the Christian punishment's a lot better than I do the Islamic ones, but in Christianity, of course, you're supposed to stone a motherfucker if he fucks another guy or if a girl fucks another girl. There used to be a lot of anti-homosexual laws in our country. So what changed them? Can you really say that religion changed those laws, or was it the society that we live in and those people that had secular mindsets took an honest look at these laws and actually overturned them? I would have to stamp this as factually fucking false that democracy only works because we acknowledge a higher power.
Where are the institutions that are going to teach the next generation of Americans that they too need to voluntarily choose to obey the laws?
I think the one thing that is really getting people to voluntarily choose to follow laws is the fact that you could be royally fucked for the rest of your life if you don't. If you don't follow laws in our country, we put your ass in jail. We try to make you understand that if you don't follow the laws of common fucking society, that you're not going to get to be part of common fucking society. That is the motivation for people to actually follow the laws in our country, or any country for that matter. And the fact that we have different sets of laws in different countries, and that, you know, we even have different laws in each state in the union. The fact that there are differences there, I mean, how can you really say that a god is doing this? Because when you can legally smoke marijuana in Colorado, but yet in my state it's illegal, how can you say that it's really an acknowledgement of God to follow that law, like the law in my state? Because, you know, you just go a few states over and it's perfectly fucking legal. So are you acknowledging God when you're in Colorado smoking weed, but then when you get back to Alabama, you don't? That's an acknowledgement to God somehow? I don't see how God really comes into play in that dynamic. And it's not just there that there's a big dynamic. In a lot of laws, there's a big dynamic across all 50 states. So you can't say that it's an acknowledgement to God when people voluntarily follow the laws, when every few fucking 100 miles, the laws fucking change.
Because if you take away religion, you can't hire enough police.
That's bullshit. That is complete and utter bullshit. If you can't tell that that is fucking bullshit, then you're just too fucking dense and for me to even reach in there and massage that brain of yours to actually get it to actually fucking work. The fact that there's countries out there that are primarily irreligious, that don't have God in their government, that they are completely secular, and they work under a democracy, and they function as a society, is a clear argument against this idea that God is needed to have a functioning society. If you happen to like this video, please do so down below with the like button. Also, comment with your thoughts on this video and on your thoughts on the moral aspect of religion versus, you know, the irreligious or secular. Let me know about those thoughts. Also, let me know what you think about them sending this out to university students and the university in general. I'll have a link to the story below where I found this particular video. Please, like I said, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And don't forget to share this guy out. I feel like I made some pretty good points against this guy here, and I hope you agree with me. And as always, don't forget to